More than a year ago, I posted a 90-second reel on non-stick cookware. And at that point, it was predictably controversial. Again, it's 90 seconds, so it's impossible to cover every single aspect of this issue except the most important relevant thing. Is it safe for the end consumer? And based on my study of all the peer-reviewed science at that point, my conclusion was it is safe to use. Of course, people in the comment section asked me to watch some Netflix documentary about DuPont, the company that invented Teflon, and also pointed me to a bunch of other studies that they believed I deliberately ignored. I went through all of them. And so, it's only fair that I post a longer video on non-stick cookware. For starters, the large bulk of the arguments against PTFE, Teflon, which is the brand name, is that the manufacturing process can be harmful. Yes, no doubt at all. And we must push governments and companies to ensure that it is safely produced. To be fair, diamond and gold mining is also exceedingly hazardous for the people who work in the mines. So let's be consistent about this. But nothing in all those documentaries and studies focuses on what the average end user wants to know. Is it safe to use in the kitchen? And we have several decades of people using non-stick cookware all around the world with no studies showing any actual harm. One of the things I pointed out is that Teflon is also used to coat implants that go into your body because it is extremely chemically unreactive. So if someone wants to prove that bits of Teflon that you might accidentally ingest because your pan is old and scratched, they have to meet this bar. If it's safe in an implant that sits inside your body for years, why would it not be generally safe? The second argument that has emerged in the last 1 year is this broader concern about forever chemicals, molecules that do not degrade in the environment and also end up getting inside our bodies, and we still don't know what their long-term impact can be. Fair enough. And it's first important to understand this. Forever chemicals, particularly things like microplastics, are everywhere. They're in the air. They're already in the vegetables and meat you eat. So this is a broader societal concern, and one has to see non-stick cookware in the context of how much more it contributes to this. And in my opinion, it's exceedingly trivial. It's like if you pour a cup of water into the Niagara Falls, sure, you are adding more water to it technically. In the context of non-stick, the concern about one particular category of molecules called per or polyfluoroalkyl substances, PFAS. And among that, one particular molecule called PFOA, perfluorooctanoic acid, which has been shown to have some negative effects when rats are exposed to large amounts of it. PFOA is something that used to be used in the manufacture of non-stick coatings. And again, if it's a reputed manufacturer, no PFOA is left behind in the finished pan that you buy. But out of an abundance of caution and obviously concern for the people working in those factories, PFOA has been phased out in most of the world since 2013. Any pan that you bought after 2013 is quite likely PFOA free. Now, people make the argument that PFOA bans are not regulated well in a place like India. While that sounds like it might be true, it completely ignores the fact that Indian companies, particularly in Gujarat, are some of the world's largest manufacturers of fluoropolymers. Many of the non-stick pans that you might buy, even in the US or Europe, will likely have coatings manufactured in India. So these factories have to meet those standards. It makes little sense to have two entirely different manufacturing setups for export and local market use. So, in my opinion, a non-stick pan from a reputed brand in India is also going to be PFOA free. And if you want to be abundantly cautious, check for the PFOA free label. In summary, looking at the current state of the science of non-stick coatings, my opinion has not changed much. I still use non-stick cookware. Because the coating degrades over time, I use non-stick pans for situations like eggs or dry dishes that will stick to any other material. I also try and ensure that I don't heat the pan to very high temperatures. And I check the label on the brand to see if it is PFOA free. At the end of the day, in the hierarchy of risks around food, this is exceedingly low, exceedingly trivial. If using a non-stick pan makes it more convenient for you to cook healthy stuff like eggs and dry vegetables, then that is a far bigger net good than the exceedingly unlikely scenario of forever chemicals causing you some abstract future harm that we still don't understand. But as always, the science is out there. The risk assessment is purely personal.